Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, Reggie Lee. So here's a $1 million question.
Oh,
you got
Arthur Kade, yes.
You got a new job lined up because your show's coming to an end.
I am #unemployed.
Oh my God.
That would be now. Are you kidding? I just want to rest. I want to rest from 14-hour shooting days.
6 seasons. This show's been a great hit for NBC.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you think of Grimm, it really ushered in this whole sci-fi genre that we're seeing a revitalization in with so many different shows. But I think Grimm was kind of at the forefront. Would you agree?
It was. I think they confused us with Once Upon a Time. Like I remember pilot season was like, wait, the two shows are so alike. We're so different. And people can see that now. But it ushered it in because I thought it was like, you know, I mean, look at the world. What's going on now? So I think people really just want to get out. Get out of that, be different and go do something that was totally pretend. Or is it pretend? Is it pretend?
Maybe the Brothers Grimsby actually had it correct.
Exactly. So yeah, here we are 6 seasons later. I can't, it's so odd. You know, we just got together to watch the final 2 episodes. The cast were really tight, you know, so, and it was just like this sad old sob fest of like, you know, snot that was happening because it was just so, you know, it's come full circle for a lot of us. So, and it's a time in our lives where it's like, it's monumental. 6 years. I mean, a lot of actors don't get to say that.
No,
I get to say that.
They don't. I remember talking to David and Bitsy about the show, and one of the things that strikes me about Grimm is the fan base is so obsessed with this show. It's insane, right?
Rabid fan base. They are that so much so that I think they would like tweet me suggestions of like where my character would go, and I would get so excited, and I'd be like, yes,
leave Wu
yes.
alone.
I mean, all these wonderful suggestions that wouldn't happen like on the page, and I'd be like, wah wah. They had writing skills. These fans have writing skills. You know, they're so invested, you know, in the emotion of the show, and it's so endearing. It's inspiring for us. You know, Comic-Con is a great place that we go. And it's right before we film, right before we start a season. And it's a great place to go right before you start a season because you're so inspired by this like fan feedback that you don't get when you're on TV. So it's great. The fans have been unbelievable. It's why we're on for this long.
Why do you think the show has endeared itself to these fans the way it has?
I think because like, unlike any other procedural, I think, you know, they're not really concerned with some are with the monster of the week, but they're concerned with like every character's got a lane. We've all got this kind of like quirky personality for each character, and it's kind of like an everyman, you know, everyone's got a little bit of them in every one of these characters. So they're more concerned with their personal lives and the mythology and, you know, what happens and how it relates to them in real life. So I think that's what they dig about the show versus other procedurals, you know? And so it's been really wonderful to kind of feel the emotion coming from them to us because it really touches us, helps us keep going. 6 years is a long time, you know, so to be describing crime scenes. So
after 6 years with Wu, is it tough to disconnect from him? Does he become essentially a part of the DNA?
Dude. I am okay. So it's pilot season right now, and I've been getting, you know, it's you know, because I'm #unemployed. You go out for all these pilots, and it's just like I catch myself in the middle of an audition. I was like, God, was that just Wu? Did I just do Wu? Am I Wu for this character? Am I Wu for every character for the rest of my life? And it's become a part of you, you know. And I always thought, you know what? I'm such not a sarcastic guy. But I love this because I'm learning about sarcasm and being sardonic, and then suddenly it's like I'm the most sarcastic person within my group of friends.
He's got some great one-liners.
Oh, those wooisms keep coming at you, and then they actually the fans had like put out this like this book called Wooisms for Dummies, and it was just like wooism after wooism in there. But it's that kind of stuff that is like, man, you know, you don't realize you kind of have this effect on people, and the magnitude of like this particular medium is, it surpasses film, I think.
Well, because I think fans connect to the characters for a longer period of time, and when they get to see that long arc, they live their lives with these characters.
Look, I learned something from you today. So insightful.
I'm going to be doing pilot season with Reggie Lee in 2017. competing for the same roles.
Yes, we will be. It's now like submit all ethnicities, and I see like the entire world is in front of me, and it's like crazy.
Is it weird to audition again? Is it weird to have to get in front of
Yes.
casting people?
Are you kidding me? Okay, so my first audition back after we had just wrapped Grimm was in January, and I was on a studio lot in Los Angeles, and I just auditioned. And you just feel like, what just hit me in the face? And so I was walking, and I was like, you know what? I got to tell the rest. We have this text chain with all 9 of us, including Trouble, and we call it Homies. So I was like, I pulled up Homies, and I'm like taking a video, and I was walking on the lot, going, you guys. Look, I'm in a lot. It feels really weird. I'm really sad, and I miss you guys, and I love you, but this audition stuff, no, can't be happening. And so then Bree sent a text with her in a video in an Uber. She's like, you guys, I'm on my way to an audition in an Uber, and I'm sad. And then everyone just started sending like videos of them auditioning. And it was this long, sad text therapy chain of homies. But it was very, it's kind of like why it's become so monumental for us. We've kind of, it's like a big part of our lives. And so 6 years, you go through so much. I mean, people got married and had kids and bought things like houses and grew up. So it was like weird. Bitsy and David are engaged. My God. So it's just like, It's odd. We're kind of connected at the hip for the rest of our lives.
Because of the popularity of the show, do you actually walk in and people are like, that's Woo from Grimm? Have you had any of those situations?
Yeah. A lot of like, they expect me to be sarcastic and like have a really good witty one-liner. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so boring in real life. No, but it is like, it's like Woo. It's odd. And they are like, they don't call you. Now they do call me Reggie, but at the beginning it was like, woo, 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 woo. Same thing kind of happened with Prison Break, but Prison Break was the opposite, but people really hated me and they wanted to kill me.
Is it weird? I've talked to so many actors about this when fans can't disconnect the television or movie character from the real person.
Well, that's the thing is like when I watch things, I think they are that character, and they're a completely different person in real life, but you do. I mean, I do it as an actor. I go, that's, whoever they are. That's Joey from Friends, and that's Joey. He's going to be Joey in real life, and they're not. And it's so disappointing. It's like, no. So it's like,
LeBlanc,
I know.
Sorry.
It's like, yeah. So that when they meet me as Woo, it's like, I just want to spend like maybe 30 seconds with you because soon you're going to figure out that I'm not Woo. So I'll run away really fast. What's really hard is kind of like when you're eating and and they'll come up to you, but like right before the meal. So then I'm feeling kind of like really self-conscious through the whole meal. Like, oh, I got to be like Woo while I'm eating. So, but yeah, it's endearing and weird at the same time. But I'll tell you what, I love to interact with the fans because, and I'm like one of the few in our show that is like, I'll constantly like live tweet the show because I love that feedback and I love feeling that firsthand like response. And I think that's what has kept us on the air for as long as we've been on the air.
The social media presence of Grimm is mind-boggling. I remember when the last time I interviewed Bitsy actually, and it was like retweets for 5 days were going.
Oh, the Bits is good. She's good at the tweeting thing.
But it was the fans were just like every fan group imaginable. Bitsy Tulloch fan group. Bitsy Tulloch fan group. I love her. Bitsy Tulloch fan group. She's gorgeous. Like it was like nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool though.
She's yeah, no, it is really cool. I mean, I think that's why they encourage us to kind of like get out there. For now, I think it's completely mandatory. If you're on a show, Silas is refused. Silas is like, I'm not getting a Twitter account. I'm not, you guys. I'm not. He is Monroe. So, and he's, everyone keeps asking, and we're like, just like, please, no more asking if Silas has a Twitter account. He has no Twitter account. He has nothing. So, but the rest of us, we're just waiting to be loved.
I was talking to another NBC star today,
Yes.
Monique, who is on the show called Taken.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Latina. You're obviously Asian American. And we're saying, you are. We're seeing so much more diversity in television right now in film. What do you think about what's happening right now in Hollywood with adding diversity?
Well, hell, that would help me be #employed. So I started with a small film called The Fast and the Furious.
Just a
and back
tiny
then,
film that's on 8 sequels, by the way.
Crazy. That was what it did, and we never had expected it to do that. But man, back then I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get to play the leader of a gang, and then I get to play the leader of a gang again and again and again and again and again. You know, it was like then Grimm came in this thing where I get to be a human being. You know, that wasn't bad. And it was wonderful in that respect. And things have grown since the first year I started Grimm to now. The diversity has diversified. And it's become so much so that we are now no longer just filling a quota, but we're moving the plot forward. And we're able to be part of the story and part of the fabric of the community, which is what is essentially happening in the United States. And that's why I came here from the Philippines. It was always the dream, right? And so now it's been incorporated after so many years to where the United States is so diversified, but you never see those stories, and you never see how, you know, I don't just work on computers or you know,
gangs.
or lead gangs or work in a Chinese restaurant. You know, you can have a normal life and tell human stories, and I think that's starting to come to the forefront. So now for us, as actors, it's becoming a viable place to be creative rather than just it be about, oh, you want to be on a TV show. No, you can experience what others experience on a huge creative level, because for so long it's like, you know, it's very Caucasian and the stories are fantastic. So those stories now are starting to be written about our community and incorporated into the fabric of this community.
I mean, we're seeing it with shows like Fresh Off the Boat and Blackish and so many great shows out there really showing us life on the other side.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it was interesting with Russell Hornsby, who was on our show, and we were talking, he and I talk a lot about the minority issue. And we were talking about, you know, the Oscar's so white, and then it became like Oscar's so black and white rather than like the entire thing. And he did say something of note, and he was like, you know what? We've just been here. We've just been here kind of like forging the way. We've been there where it's like, God, this is really hard. So now it's just starting to get there where I feel like I can have a pension plan.
All right, so finales are tough. Fans either hate them or love them. Are they going to hate or love the Grimm finale?
Woo! Let me say my name one more time. I think they're really, first of all, get the Kleenex ready.
Oh.
Yeah. Get the Kleenex ready.
Someone dies. So that means someone dies.
Get the Kleenex. I didn't say yes or no to that. But I think they're going to be very thrilled about how it's all wrapped up. And given a hint, a glimpse of what may happen, it's kind of left a little bit open.
Grimm the movie. See you in
6 seasons in a movie.
2020. Grimm the movie. Reggie's not going to need a job in 2020.
Oh, God. Move for life.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
man.
6 seasons. Everybody make sure to check out the series finale of Grimm on NBC.